Hello and welcome to Trojan Sports Now. I'm Shaaz.
And I'm Seth Carpenter. Stick around as we bring you the latest news and scores from Troy Athletics.
The Trojan football team looked to be the first team in the Battle of the Belt to secure the belt at home. Stat shows us how the Trojans did in their battle.
In a Sun Belt rivalry matchup in the battle for the belt between Troy and South Wednesday night, it was the Trojans who struck first with a field goal from Tyler Sumter to take an early 3-0 lead. Later, the score would be tied at 3-3, and the Trojans would respond with a touchdown pass to Kalen Geiger to take a 10-3 lead. The Trojans would hold that lead going into halftime with a 16-10 lead. Then after halftime, it would be all Trojans the rest of the way as Kalen Geiger would start off the scoring in the second half with a 15-yard touchdown reception for his second of the night to take a 13-point lead. Then at the start of the fourth quarter, it would be Will Sunderland getting his second interception of the game, this time for a pick six. And to seal the game, it would be Trevon Woolfolk for a 4-yard rushing touchdown to get the win 37-13. Head coach Chip Lindsey talked about getting his first battle for the belt win after the game.
It's a big win for us. Obviously, they're all big to be honest with you. But being an in-state rival and the battle for the belt, I mean, it means a lot. It means a lot to our fans. It means a lot to our students, our players, and I'm really excited.
And on a windy night here in the Vet, it wasn't the offense that dominated this time, but the defense, holding South to just 13 points and 3 of 12 on third down conversions. Head coach Chip Lindsey talked about the team's performance on third down.
3 of 12, wow, that's good. That's really good. I think that says a lot. Obviously, I've talked about the defense, but getting off the field on third down is huge. And 3 of 12 is phenomenal. You know, when you can hold somebody to 3 of 12 on third downs, you're usually going to have a good night on defense.
And on the offensive side of things, it wasn't the passing game that carried the Trojans. It was their running game this time.
DK as well as Woolfolk both ran well. Let's see, DK, he had a 100-yard game again, so that's great. He had 20 carries, about right. Woolfolk had 10, and Barker ran it about 10 times. So, that's pretty good. Pretty good balance there.
Trojan soccer team looked to remain undefeated at home for the first time since 2014. Shaaz Peerani gives us a look at the Trojans' final home game.
The Troy University soccer team would face their final challenge of the season at home, hoping to remain undefeated at the Troy Soccer Complex on the season. The Trojans would have to perform in the coldest temperatures they've played in at Troy. Their performance would also start off cold as they allowed a Little Rock goal 33 minutes into the first half. But head coach Jed O'Connor says why the team eventually heated up after halftime.
We reorganised at halftime, and all we said was you need to play with the discipline that you have. And they went out in the second half, and I think lesser teams may have been more stressed. There was a little bit of stress there, but lesser teams may have just kicked it forward and ran, whereas they were disciplined, which was what I'm very happy about.
In her final game in Troy, senior Kate Lorenz would nail the equalizer from outside the box in the 66th minute. Lorenz talks about how the team was on the brink of scoring several times, and when they did, it was a relief.
You could tell our team was really frustrated. We were getting so close. We hit the crossbar, we hit the post. We were just right there. And they got such a crap goal that we were this, it almost felt unfair. And so you could just tell once I scored, the energy changed and it all started to fall into place.
And things continued to fall in place for the Trojans as freshman Melissa Kuya-Strobel finished off the comeback by nailing the game winner with just 7 minutes left in the second half. Coming back from a deficit is nothing new for the Trojans, as Coach O'Connor says that these experiences during the season has prepared them for these sorts of pressurized situations.
The experiences that these have had all season from different events, games, situations has been such a great learning experience for them. But now we've just won. We need to go ahead. We've got 2 games left. We need to try and get 2 points or 2 wins, 6 points out of that. And that would, I believe that would be the best result in conference that the team's ever had.
And the Trojans ended playing on this field with a 6-match undefeated streak. And they take that streak to the test as they head to Texas to take on Texas State. And then they go to Louisiana to face off against Louisiana Lafayette for their final 2 matches of the season. Signing off for the last time from the Troy Soccer Complex, Shaaz Peerani, Troy Trojan Vision Sports. After dropping the first match of their Texas road trip to Texas State on Friday, the Trojan volleyball team finished out their weekend with a win over UT Arlington. Troy picked up its second win ever over the Mavericks after a 3-1 victory Saturday night in College Park Center. The Trojans finished with a 5-1 record against Sunbelt West Division teams. The two Trojans passed career milestones on the road. Amar Anderson reached the 2,000 career assist mark, while Cheyenne Hayes became the 11th Trojan in school history to reach 1,000 career kills.
Men's cross-country team placed 10th out of a 21-team field at the Blazer Invitational this past weekend. The men tallied 278 points and were led by senior Bradley Ditson for the 5th consecutive race with a 38th place finish in 25 minutes and 21 seconds, a personal best 8K time. Sloss Franklin and Daniel Glick rounded out Troy's top 3 finishers, placing 52nd and 59th.
And the women's side, the women's cross-country team finished 14th in a 24-team field with a total of 357 points. Mackie Walsh paced the Trojans, placing 35th in 21 minutes and 46 seconds. Tanner Guest was Troy's second highest finisher, coming in at 70th place, finishing out of 215 runners.
And the Troy women's tennis team completed their final day of competition at the ITA Southern Regionals in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. The Trojans would only see one singles main draw victory, as Matija Mihailovic would reach the round of 32 and then lose to Auburn's Taylor Russo 6-3 and then 6-3. The other Trojans were not able to capture a single victory in the main draw of the tournament.
The Troy men's tennis team concluded play at the ITA Southern Regional Championships on Sunday on the campus of Auburn University. Troy senior Oscar Mikhalik arguably had the most impressive singles tournament at the ITA Regional, regardless of what team. Mikhalik, who started the tournament in the qualifying round, won 3 matches to advance to the field of 32 draw that started on Saturday. The senior began his main draw match against number 1 from Auburn after losing the first set 6-2. Mikhalik rebounded to take the final 2 sets and complete the upset. In the round of 16, Mikhalik again dropped the opening set, but again battled to stun nationally ranked Hamish Stewart out of Tulane in 3 sets in his final match of the weekend. Mikhalik took number 25th ranked Sanduklin of Ole Miss in the quarterfinals. Mikhalik grabbed the early advantage with a first set victory before eventually falling in the match over the course of the tournament. Mikhalik posted an impressive 5-1 record with a few stunning upsets.
Troy men's golf team wrapped up its fall campaign with a 4th place finish at the Pine Tree Intercollegiate at the Pine Tree Country Club in Kennesaw, Georgia. Connor Futrell tied for 3rd place with a 4 under 2-12 to lead Troy as play continued Tuesday. Jake Tiffin led the Trojans in the final round with a 2 over 74 thanks to a pair of birdies around a relatively clean round that featured a pair of bogeys and 1 double bogey. Tiffin tied for 14th place with Brent Ham at 6 over for the tournament. Futrell would end the fall with a team leading 70.21 stroke average. And still to come on Trojan Sports Now, we'll have a preview of the Trojan football team's matchup against Georgia State.
But first, I gotta sit down with senior cross-country runner Bradley Dixon. Stick around for more Trojan Sports Now.